G'day all, I thought I'd do the first video on shin splints and what I like to call putting your body back together so you can keep running. Just because you've got shin splints doesn't mean, or sore shin area, doesn't mean you need to stop running. You've got to use pain as your guidance. So, but there's ways, especially if you've got nasty shins all the time, there's ways to fix the body up so you can keep training through it all. There could be a few reasons. If you've got shin pains on both sides, then this is going to be very applicable. If you've got shin pains on, let's say, your right side, it could be, or whatever side, depending on what end of the world you're on, it could be that you're running on the edge of the road on oncoming traffic. So the road always has that little bit of an angle heading into the gutter. So your foot's landing funny. So you've got that problem. You also got shoes. I won't carry on too much about the shoes and stuff, but I highly recommend, if you haven't seen yourself running on a treadmill with a camera behind you, slowing it and watching how your foot hits the ground every time, you really need to do that, and you should be doing that before you buy the shoes too. So go into a shoe shop and say you want to see yourself do it, even if they just put you on a quick treadmill, you grab your phone and just film you and so you can see that you're landing properly. But we can carry on about all that at another time. But if you haven't ran for a while and you start running again, you're very open to shin splints, or you're increasing volume, or you're just starting to run on the road, or you're used to trails, or so most of the problems is going to come really from your calves. Everyone thinks it's problems are hanging around the shin. So we'll just use this as an example. This is the most common area is just going to be. Let me zoom it up here. Most common area. This is great work I'm doing here. Is going to be like around this area. So you got to forgive me because I'm as tired and sore as crap here, so I'm not moving that freely. So if you think the pain's here, everyone's going to start massaging and icing it and hammering the shin area here. It's probably coming from behind your calf muscle. So it's crazy to think, but so many injuries for athletes come from your calves. So straight after your run, probably do this 2-3 times a day. Just massage. Just grab your hands and massage your calves like this, like you're trying to pump blood. Like you've got little heartbeats going. There's a lot of research recently come out on how beneficial this is from so many aspects, from to help the heart, through to injury prevention. It's ridiculous on how much it is, and to the point where they're coming up with new straps that will just constantly do this to your calves to help it help pump blood through. But what we're doing here is we're just loosening up your calves, and you could really do this for 30 seconds to a minute, half a dozen times a day, and it will help greatly. So we're going to start hitting trigger points. So using a thumb or something pretty hard, going from the back, you want to aim to have your leg relax, but what you're doing is you're reaching around until you find sore stuff, but instantly you just go in straight hard. You find something sore or tight or a little bit stiff, just hammer into it really hard from behind and hold it for 30 seconds. After about 30 seconds, you start moving your thumb very slowly like this, and then if there's no more pain there, start looking for somewhere else. Now, if your pain for your shin is just here, you instantly want to go straight from behind it and hammer it into your calf. Often, that pain will come through. You should feel a connection through to your calf quite often, and then you just slowly but surely move your way up through the calf all the way down. The same thing can happen for not only shin splints but like Achilles injuries as well. So we're just trying to fix up the calf. So once you've got from behind all done, and this could take a good few minutes to do. You get to the calf, you get to where the main source of the pain is. So from behind, we've really pushed it in hard. Here, we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, I'll zoom in a little bit more. So let's say the pain's just here. So we're going to put our thumb into the muscle part. We don't want to touch the bone as that much, but we just want to be a millimetre or two off the bone, touching the real tender spot of the muscle. Now you don't want to push hard on this, so if 0's no pressure at all and 10's as hard as you can, you want to be around a 2, maybe 3, and you just want to hold it for 30 seconds, very, very light. Take your pressure off, move it to the next spot down, so you're covering every millimetre of this pain. Again, hold it 2 to 3 out of 10 for about 30 seconds. Can go longer if need be. Finger off, straight down to the next, hold. And you're doing that for the entire pain. You basically want to go from a centimetre above the pain to about a centimetre below the pain. Don't push hard on this. You just want to add a little bit of pressure. That's all you want to be doing. Now, once you've hammered all the trigger points on both sides, we've hit this bit here. You want to go to the opposite end above your shin here to the muscle bit. You want to do the exact same thing as you did here, but maybe just add a little bit more pressure, not too much more, but just a little bit in the exact same spots that you did here. And each one you're holding for about 30 seconds. This I call it 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be 30 seconds on the dot. You're really going on feel. So it can take a few good times to work out what you're trying to feel. Sometimes you might need to go a lot longer than 30 seconds, but you'll soon realise on how it's feeling. So after that, just before dinner, just before bedtime, what you're going to do is do this again. But at the end, grab your foam roller. You can do the 2 legs at once. But after you've done your trigger points just before bed, just start very slowly doing it 1 leg at a time until you slowly bring it all the way up, and then then the second time put your one foot crisscross on the other, lift yourself up a little so you can add a little so you can go a little bit deeper. So the rollers are good. Rumble rollers okay. They'll do the trick. But you're probably not going to need them as much if you do it properly with your trigger points. But with your rumble roller, you're probably not going to have to need to go as deep or as hard. Self-massaging with these, huge. Highly recommend it. So you've done your, I guess we've just been doing self-massage when you really think of it. So we've hit the trigger points. Now it's time to do the massage. So you always work your way up. And don't be pushing down too hard, but always bring the stuff up. However, you don't massage just the calf if you're not going to do the hamstring as well. So start off with the hamstring, massage the hamstring, and this is the same with the foam rollers too. Go hamstring first, calf second, and then back to the hamstring last. So it's like we're flushing right through. So if you do that, you let pain be your guide. Run every second day. Have the second day is your recovery day. Really focus on putting your body back together, as I like to call it. If one day you can run 40 minutes, okay, and then you have your rest day, you're doing everything right. On the day you're running, you can only run 30 minutes. Well, things are deteriorating. It's not going right. So you may need to look at either going to a physiotherapist, or if you can get your grubby little hands on an ultrasound, and you can ultrasound the area. That is gold. You'll be able to, you're pretty well close to run every single day, no matter how bad your shins are. Or dry needling is too. That's great. We're hitting the dry needling, and what we're basically doing with the trigger points is more or less what they're going to be doing with the dry needling too. We're just hitting the same sort of areas. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, tim@trainsmooth.com. You're right.